Show starts off pretty good with this creepy text voice and the strange image of this girl. And you don't seem to understand. Wait, this song is from here? Man, this shit kinda slaps. Wait, this is a part of this song too? The show opens with us following a very deranged middle schooler who, quite soon enough, hurls herself off of a building in quite a shady alley. Texts keep appearing on screen about connecting to a place. A couple is seen talking about a happy place. And immediately you'll notice that the theme reflecting in the art style, where the environment in general just feels liminal overall, like a place with no soul. We then cut to a scene of a girl crying in class. On further investigation, we come to know that the girl who ended it in the alley last week was a student in this school from a different class, and her name was Chisa. And this week, a lot of the students in the class were getting emails from her, which, for obvious reasons, shouldn't be possible. Oh, by the way, this is Lane, i.e. our main character. She seems like quite the oddball and didn't know who Chisa was, despite everyone else knowing due to the teacher telling them. Lane is not entirely there, with it being heavily implied that she has some sort of hallucinations, and the entire area looking so liminal due to us looking at it from her perspective. As we follow her home and she opens her oddly futuristic computer, we see that she has also received a mail from Chisa, and worst of all, it seems like the person sending this mail knows information that only Chisa could. But this can't be, right? Chisa is dead. The email goes on, and Chisa tells Lane that though she ended it, that was just the physical body, and she continues to live on in the other world. A world where, according to her, God is. The next day, even more horrifying visions follow. Visions that even made me a little unsettled, even though I was of the notion that the medium of 2D animation couldn't do that to me. It's this image of this person with the most horrifying expressions on their face walking in front of a train. And that's where the episode ends. The next episode focuses entirely on the strange electronic drug called Acela, a drug that accelerates a person's awareness, kicking their brain in overdrive. It is, obviously, illegal. Not only the consciousness, but the working of the brain is altered as well, multiplying the brain's operating capacity by 2 to 12 times. The visions Lane sees keeps getting worse, to the point that it is getting hard to tell the difference between reality and hallucination. A man kills 2 people in the club. Last night he had taken the drug that we were talking about. He looks at Lane and mentions something about the scattered god, and how the wired cannot be allowed to interfere with the real world. Lane, in a moment completely out of character, walks up to him and says, "No matter where you go, everyone's connected." The man proceeds to end himself as well. Apparently Lane has a name that some people usually know her by. She is Lane of the Wired. Real quick, before we get back into it, please like and subscribe, guys, because it will really help me make this a full-time thing, and that I really want to, so yeah, back to work. The Wired and Navi seem to be an allegory for the internet and the computer systems that can be apparently boosted with the psyche, and this show came out in the late 1990s, by the way. Somehow predicted the future. One of the girls from the class, who was there during the murder, mentions that they saw a person die last night, but for some reason, they just can't take it seriously. A question was promptly brushed aside by the others, who are also there. It's almost as if this reality is starting to not matter anymore. There is a strange car parked outside the house. A day ago, there was a man standing there, and both of them are watching Lane. Our family is strange. The mother doesn't talk or reply to anything, aside from some strange taunts. The father seems oddly enthusiastic about computers, and won't talk about anything else for some reason. The sister is aloof. And worst of all, Lane may not be who she seems to be, and it may seem even she doesn't know who she is. But the people around do. Her parents do. And they are worried but not for her. The people around keep dying. It's a game on Wired that everyone who perishes were hooked on, and the victims keep piling, often preceded by the bizarre visions of a strange kid. A kid who others have seen in reality too. It seems to be that a virtual reality dungeon crawler was merged with a kindergarten hide-and-seek game, causing this mayhem. It believed to be the work of the same people who made the nanodrug, the Knights. Now revealed is a sort of mindset, a mentality followed by people wanting to be one with the wire, revealed to us through Lane as it seems. Her metamorphosis is half complete already. By this point in the series, all hope of turning back is lost. The family has completely fallen apart, not out of hate for one another but indifference, with Lane's sister being the only one who even tries, but never gets anywhere. I mean, can you blame her? Even hate is an emotion that can be ridden on. What does one do when there is nothing there? And Lane is now something unrecognizable, not just from her past self, but overall as a person, if she even still is one. Matter of fact, she herself doesn't know anymore, and whatever Wire is, it's causing psychosis, even to the people not linked to it. It seems to be taking their spirits and replacing them with empty husks, and this is no longer psychosis. Wired now has a god that can affect the real world, who seems to be connected to Lane. The Knights, whatever they are, seem to be creating an updated form of an experiment done 15 years ago, known as kids, where children who have innate PSI powers were used to harvest energy. Think Kenjaku, the merger, where even the scientists responsible wanted to see something beyond imagination. However, things went wrong and the kids lost their lives, and the scientists destroyed kids and all its schematics. At least that's what he thought. Because now, someone was able to find it and are running it on the kids of the real world, manifesting the power of such scale that it causes phenomenon in the real world. Serious spoiler warning from this point on, as I will be revealing all the plot twist, so if you want to watch the series for yourself, now's the chance. Lane may not be a real person at all, and the parents' odd behavior can be chalked up to them trying to do only as much as necessary in front of Lane, but genuinely enjoying each other's company by themselves, something that has come crashing down since Lane awakened. Lane is not just one being, originally being an entity from Wired that got a human form, and that human form also got its own personality. Lane, in a way, is the Wire personified, and the personification also grew a consciousness, hence the split personality. And Wire is a system created by one Dr. Airy, who is a believer of a theory that all of humanity can be connected. And once that is done, it can awaken the consciousness of the planet. The sequence is done in one of the best sequences I have ever seen, with the show going into details about real reports in our world, about files regarding UFOs and aliens connecting it to consciousness and Earth's electromagnetic waves, and different theories about aliens coming to Earth, and them being, in a way, quite involved in said world. The question now arises that if you believe those theories, what's stopping you from believing this theory? And there are real people in the real world who believe the aliens and UFOs consciousness theories, mostly in part because these were real government activities. So, with the way computers and the net have developed, what's stopping you from believing the theory that there may be a god of the net, a consciousness omnipresent in the net, and the connecting of all of humanity? Airy exists in the Wire. He introduces himself as the god Lane has been in contact with all this time, though it is to us the viewer quite clear that it is Lane who is the superior. To Lane, someone with no true memories of history, who basically popped into existence just last week. Eddie being God is her only logical conclusion. The struggle between her existence in the real world and who she is continues, with her entire existence now being erased from the real world. No desk, no acknowledgement, home empty, until the father comes in. He addresses Lane as Miss Lane. His role is fulfilled. He wasn't given permission to say goodbye, but he loved her. He goes on to say that maybe that love was an envy for a being like her. As he leaves, Elaine stops him, asking him to not leave her alone. But she isn't alone. When she connects to Wire, everyone will welcome her. That's the kind of being she is. Elaine tries to strip the Wired God status by taking away their followers, the Knights. After which the guys from the car come back, and the tall guy says, "Though I don't know what you are, and we have no need for gods, I love you." Now, there exists only one reason why Eri is still God. It's Elaine. However, as Eri tries to comfort her into his schemes and abandon the real world, she lashes out. The next episode starts with all the things Elaine values in the real world, especially Alice. The visions end in the real world, as Elaine downloads an emulator of Navi into her mind, and now being declared a software that can run on the right kind of hardware. As she goes out for a walk, she runs into Chisa and the guy from the club. Chisa, the one who willingly left, now says that there is nothing easy in ending the body, and the guy from the club keeps encouraging it. Throughout the show, there have been reports of an alien with a red striped shirt stalking people's bedrooms and disappears once looked at. He showed up to Lane once. Now Lane is that alien, and she appears to Alice, possibly signifying her alienation from the people, everyone aside from Alice. And now she has wiped everyone's memories. But Alice's. When Alice questions why, gotta say she got balls of steel for doing that, Elaine calls her only friend in the world. Elaine now tries to convince her that she and everyone else are applications, with Lane being the software, to destroy the barrier between Wired and the real world. However, Alice refuses. To her, Lane is a person, and so is she. In a moment of just two friends comforting each other, they laugh. Eri tries to convince Lane otherwise, and encourages her to connect to Alice, and offers to rid herself of these thoughts. But Lane finally questions. She finally questions this being she calls God. She puts his status of God into question, which he, being the total G that he is, takes it in strides. After the wildly successful rage bait, Alice is not doing so well, and neither is Lane, as she realizes that she's an anomaly on this earth, no matter how much she wishes to be otherwise. We cut back to Lane's family, and this time the mother is talking, the sister is talking, the father is talking. But there is no Lane, just an empty seat. A seat where the father's attention went for a brief moment. Alice gets invited to go to the club, and she goes to message... Who? Oh, the other two girls remember. Alice wants to invite Chisa, but she feels like there's something out of place. If you aren't remembered, you never existed. Tora sees something on his device. It's probably nothing. Eri, holy shit, Eri is there? But this time, he wants to quit his frustrating job. He sees some guys removing electric cables. They're the ones from the car. The record of memory has been rewritten. Elaine cries to herself in a barren wire. She's joined by another Lane, who tells her that the wire is not actually the upper layer of reality, and can't possibly hold all of humanity's consciousness. What wire truly is just a flow of information, connected to... However, she is God. She is the omnipresent, all-observing God who no one will look down on for just observing. She tries to convince Lane to reset the world again, to go through all that again. However, Lane shoves that version of herself to the side. But before she goes, she asks one more question. If not that, then who are you, Lane? As no one remembers the Lane from Earth, as those events never happened. Who is the person denying to be God? And now she's once again alone. until a voice calls out to her. It pierces through the darkness, and she's saved by her dad, who promises to make her tea as she cries. In the future, an adult Alice sees a girl looking down over a bustling city from a bridge. She goes to see her. She doesn't know her, but somewhere she recognizes her, though she's promptly interrupted by Lane saying no. They haven't met before. They introduce themselves and Alice bids farewell. She says, maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Lane goes back to observing the city, saying to herself, you're right. We can't see each other anytime. I'm here, so I'll be with you forever. To me, Serial Experiments Lane is a coming-of-age story. A coming-of-age story of a god understanding that it cannot live in the lives of human beings, not as an involved entity, as that will bring in chaos in the lives of said people, coming to fight off the false god trying to be the one in control and eventually fulfilling the prophecy of being the all-ever-existing entity. The only thing being, she's not god of this world. The pain Lane went through as a person is information lost in that world. As far as the world or anyone in it is concerned, that person never existed, and those events never happened. Lane in more ways than one actually did in herself, but instead of her body, what was destroyed was Lane, the person, and gone it is from the minds and realities of every human and thing, ever. And the reason I started this paragraph with, to me, is because this is at the end what the series is about. If there is no one to see a tree fall in the forest, does the tree make a sound? As far as the show is concerned, no. There is nothing to perceive sound. The vibrations in the air may still be there, but like Diablo's King Crimson, the event of the tree falling never happened. What a beautiful name Johann is. It's a shame there is no one to call him by it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Again, it will really help me out, as it's my dream to make this a full-time thing. And thank you all for watching. This video took a lot of time and effort to make, but I just had to. The show was just so good. It was made in the 1990s. In a way, this show actually did prophesize the booming of the internet, and currently, the net is actually quite similar to what The Wire is in the show. Actually not only prophesized our reality 20 years ago, but also the problems that come with it. Truly what a show. Anyways, see you all on the next one. Adios.